Hello, everybody. It's a big pleasure to be with the Poultry School audience again. It's a big pleasure to have today with us Marco Rebollo from Zinpro. Today he's going to be talking about catching and handling programs and the impact on animal welfare and carcass quality. Marco, thank you very much for your time, and we have been discussing this for a couple of months, and I think this webinar is going to be adding a lot of value to the industry. So, like always, the presentation is going to last around 25 minutes, half hour. And then if anyone has one question, we'll have like 5-10 minutes. And then this recording is going to be in our YouTube channel, if somebody, for everybody to have access to it. So Marco, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Rodolfo. Thank you everyone to joining me today to have this conversation about the value of this important step in poultry production. So I would like to start talking about the number of different training programs that exist. There are a number of associations, genetic companies, and local authorities that produce training programs for catching and handling. Standard operating procedures are in place in many integrators that also have the different steps outlined to make this process efficient. The aim of this talk is to find space on how to make these programs more efficient, not to replace them. With that said, I would like to start showing you about, in poultry production, we have two major steps. On one side, we have the production of the chicken, which is the breeding part. We have the breeders, the hatchery, the growing and the finish of the broilers or the turkeys. And we have a number of points we have to focus on to make sure that this production is adequate, economic, and have a proper and humane handling of the birds. On the other side, we have the slaughterhouse, and we also have some areas of focus that we have to work on to improve the process and produce safe, wholesome, affordable food for the human consumption. So consumers are demanding more, and it is a good thing right now because that helps to improve quality and to improve welfare. With that said, I would like to point out that the important part, the step in between, talking about loading and transportation, it takes just a few hours, but these hours are critical. So the aim is to improve the welfare of the animals during this time because we know that welfare is connected to quality. So the aim is to reduce stress, to reduce injury, and to reduce mortality, because that is important. The areas of impact that we can mention here are mainly animal welfare, meat quality, food safety is important because we can deteriorate food safety in this step. We can also have a transmission of some diseases from farm to farm because we have crews moving from one farm to the other, and it is important we take care of that. And also we have to streamline operation efficiency. Operation efficiency streamlined here has an impact on reducing cost on labor, on transportation, and even in the processing plant when we help the process to be fluid. One important part that we have to mention is labor. So this process is still highly dependent on labor. Even when we have mechanical automatic systems in place that are growing, the last survey says that less than 20% of the catching and loading is done through this mechanical procedure. And even with this mechanical procedure, we have in parallel labor working. So actually this mechanical process is making labor more efficient rather than the other way around. With that said, it is important that we focus on the workers, the people that is doing this process. So this short but important process has the same importance as any other thing, but this also can deteriorate all the efforts that have been done before to have a chicken that has grown a high performance and profitable weight before the market. this could be deteriorated during this process. So it's important when we pay attention to this area. So one of the issues we have to deal with is there's a big staff turnover in this type of roles. And many people that joins these jobs looks as a temporary role. They don't see themselves as becoming a professional catcher and handler. Even then that we have good people doing this job, most of the people are thinking on as a temporary job. For that reason, it's important we continuously train these people. It is a monotonous job, repetitive, but at the same time, it's physically demanding. We have people here lifting heavy weights, bending, squatting, and repeating this all day. And we have to keep a pace because this has to be an efficient process. There are dust exposure, restricted comfort, and we have to meet these tight deadlines to be able to bring the birds to the processing plant on time. And many of these deadlines are established not only based on process, are also based on physiology of the animals, metabolism. But it is very difficult for us to make the personal to understand what is behind. But we can do our best to make them understand what is the impact of what they are doing as a good practice or as a poor practice. So we require people with basic skills, and training is provided on the go many times, and there are some risks of injuries. So we all have to consider that and try to take this and handle the people properly and be in contact, continuous communication with them so they express everything that they need and try to provide as much gear and as much resources as we can to make their work more efficient. So for that reason, I would like to share with you that Zinpro has designed a complementary training program. And the aim of this program is reinforce the programs that the companies have in place. So we are using a resource of a number of videos with animation. So animation is good because we are not blaming anyone or any brand or any company. So it's good because they show what is a proper practice and what should be done to improve. So these videos are done by professionals showing a storytelling process. So they are targeting workers and managers. We have now videos right now that can be used in between or in different situations. We have many other videos that have been developed for particular situations, but 9 would be the ones that can be used across the board. They are available in English, in Spanish, and Portuguese. The idea is to have simplified messages to improve the practices and create awareness of the consequences of these practices. And the aim is to improve all these factors that we already mentioned. It is important to provide recognition to, and these trainings are targeting to provide that recognition to the people, how they can impact the food chain and how this impact can come back to their families. So this is an example I would like to provide. So we will start with the people. Taking care of the people is important.
Essential to perform an excellent job and maintain our household income. Take time to warm up and stretch before working to avoid joint and muscle injuries. It's important to cover your mouth and nose. Use protection equipment according to your workplace duties. Do not work injured. You will feel even worse and you will cause carcass damage. Hydrate yourself frequently. Your body loses large amounts of water. If you do not know the rules, ask your supervisor and always take care of your peers. We work for animal welfare every day.
Safety has to be above everything. And it's important that we involve the people that is working on the safety side of the company, also in these conversations. Even when these crews are commercial crews and sometimes are third parties, they are also working in our facilities, and we have to make sure these people are using the proper procedures and the proper gear. So it is important on open communication too. So these people express what is going on with their supervisors. As you see, people Usually, some people get injuries and they don't tell, and they work that way, and that problem can impact on quality and welfare. Also, some important part is these people just get into the work area and they just work. So warm up is important. Since we're talking about a physically demanding role, it is important that warm up happens first to prevent all those injuries. See, we accompany these videos with a number of slides, and these slides can be generic, but also some slides are taken in the same facilities, are developed, customized for the company. So another important point is biosecurity and food safety. So humans can transmit disease to humans more than chickens can transmit disease to humans. But sometimes people getting in contact with animals can have an indirect transmission. So we have to make sure that the personnel getting into the farms follow these protocols, wash their hands, change their clothes, change their shoes. And every time they get out, and even when they go to the restroom, they have to wash their hands when they are coming back. Sometimes when we see dirt in a farm, we say, whoa, that is no problem because it's already dirty. But that is not the case. Sometimes the microbiome in that farm is already stable. But if we bring a pathogenic bacteria, that will remain there. So it's important that we take care not to bring those bacteria into the system. We also focus on the importance of the animal. The animal, the living animal, is as important or more important than the end product. Even when the end product is the one that capitalizes the company, it depends entirely on the live animal. The best care we take of the animal, the best the quality is going to be in the final product. And they are tightly connected. And this is scientifically proved. And we have to make sure this message gets to the people that handles the birds. So these are the common problems that are found in processing plant: bruises, fractures, and scratches. And even when they have a very low rate, they still are causing losses. And they are also red light when we're talking about animal welfare inspections. All the regulations have to be complied, and we have to minimize or eliminate this type of problems. Also, the meat can be deteriorated, and we have to bring this awareness also to the workers. In the center, we can see a normal breast fillet, which is pink, is shiny, is tender. But on the other side, we can see on the left, we can see a pale, soft, exudative muscle. So that those birds were exposed to stress. And this muscle is weak and is not able to stand the process. So sometimes it is eliminated. And also the water loss is huge. On the right side, we have the other case, which is dry, firm, or dark meat. And this is another case of stress, and it's very common on heat stress. So chronic stress and acute stress can cause this type of problems. And these are losses for the farmer, are losses for the processing plant, are losses for the consumer, because this product should be in the market. Also, intensive flapping of the birds can cause some problems with the deep pectoral muscle that cause rejection and loss completely of the tender. So we bring this awareness also to the people working in the farms, so they are aware of what is happening, can be caused. So also, when we are dealing with people coming from other industries, it's important that they introduce them to the poultry industry. And we have some slides, and this is a video that has a very quick and easy message for them.
There are 4 critical production stages. 1, reproduction. 2, incubation. 3, broiler farm. 4, processing plant. And before the last one, catching and transportation, where people handle the birds directly and use mechanical equipment, causing them stress and frequently injuries that deteriorate their quality. Zinpro Performance Minerals help your chickens grow healthier, vigorous, and stronger to better withstand stress and reduce likelihood of injuries. We are an essential element in the production of healthy animals for a healthier world.
Yeah, these short messages and quick stories is a good approach. Sometimes they stick in the mind of the people, and especially when they can relate with the activities they have been doing or they do every day. So also, we have to bring awareness that the chickens are fragile and they have to be handled carefully.
Engorda es una ave muy joven y delicada. Es muy fácil causarles daño si no se tiene el cuidado adecuado. Si los pollos se cargan mal, se pueden generar varias lesiones, causando desperdicio del canal y sus partes. Y esto afecta directamente al valor del pollo y a las ventas. El estrés al asustarse también les hace daño. La carne se reseca, se pone dura o cambia de color. Y al final todos salimos perdiendo. Recuerda que un trabajo bien hecho es de gran importancia. Trabajamos para el bienestar animal todos los días.
Well, yeah, it is important to mention that you didn't need to know Spanish to understand what was happening here. It's just to show you that these videos are also in other language, but they are very self-explanatory. You can understand what they are talking about. And yeah. Other important part is to prevent heat stress. Heat stress happens all the time during this process, even under cold temperatures. The loading of the transportation equipment is also causing this stress. In the center, you can see this infrared photograph, and you can see how the heat is concentrated inside these coops. And if you go to the center of those coops, the most heat is accumulated. The temperature of a chicken, the normal temperature is 41 degrees Celsius, 106 Fahrenheit. And the comfort temperature should be about 22 Celsius, about 76, 74 Fahrenheit. So you can see that temperatures accumulating can threaten or can cause problems in comfort. And we have to make sure these animals are comfortable. On the right, you can see these cooling panels that can be installed and are portable. That's a practice that many companies have. And we are also recommending to have gaps that allow ventilation or transportation that has ventilation and climate control. The good thing is that technology is advancing on this and is helping us a lot. So this is an example of the transportation loading.
Crates are filled, take them out of the house shortly by sliding them on rails or using forklifts. If you load the truck using a forklift, be careful not to hit or break the cages. If you load manually, do not tilt the boxes. Leave spaces between the crates to allow air circulation. Secure crates using bars, chains, and belts to prevent them from jumping or falling down. When being close together, birds produce too much heat. Avoid loading times over 2 hours, especially when the truck is in the sun. Facilitate cooling of the cages by sprinkling water and using fans. We work for animal welfare every day.
And this is more targeting drivers and truck drivers.
When birds stop eating and drinking water, they dehydrate and their carcasses lose weight. To minimize this, transport them at fresh hours. It will help to reduce mortality and maintain better carcass quality. Avoid using the horn. Don't accelerate or brake suddenly. Avoid roads with potholes, speed bumps, or stones. Use the most direct roads. Stop only in case of emergency. Upon arrival, leave the truck under shade and use side fans to keep birds comfortable. Get them wet if it is necessary. And make sure cages are unloaded without dropping them. We work for animal welfare every day.
Many times the role of the truck driver is very important because they can supervise the loading and they can also supervise the unloading. So if they can report poor practices before and after, is also a good way to supervise and oversee these processes. And finally, we have to verify that things are well done. And these defects, these injuries, these lesions are not getting to the processing plant. So we can monitor this in many ways. We come to monitor the deaths on arrival, then the number of these birds that are coming by flock, by catching crew, by transport, and we can have a very good tracking of that. But in the processing plant, we can also do something. And Zinpro has designed this tool that we call Perfect Carcass tool. And this is a scoring and tracking system that helps us record the severity and the frequency of the lesions that happen in the carcasses. We take samples of 100, 150 carcasses, and we can assign that by flock, by farm, by catching crew. So whatever we want to measure, and we measure this scoring in different points involving skin scratches or skin lesions, bruises, fractures, and muscle abnormalities. And we can provide a report on how things are going. And we can also show how catching and handling can improve over time. And the way we handle this process is, first, we align with the companies. What are their objectives? What are the weakest points? And then sometimes we go to the farms and we oversee some of these loadings of birds, and we find the opportunities. Sometimes we are allowed to record or make videos, and these videos are shown to the personnel. These videos are not shared outside the company. And the idea is to improve the process, the specific progress. Sometimes we have to develop also storytelling cartoon to be able to demonstrate workers and keep reinforcing this improvement program. We got an approval, and then we do in-room and hands-on training. And of course, we run an assessment at the processing plant. So this is run by our team of experts that go to the field, and we collaborate closely with companies around the world. And the good thing is this program can be customized. And with that said, I appreciate your time and your attention. I'll be glad to take questions.
Thank you, Marco, for your presentation. I think that we don't have any question in our question and answer chat. So thank you very much for your presentation. I think that what I really like about all this, that is very simple. And I think that one of the major problems that I see in the industry with many programs is when it's simple is the better, because programs can be nice in paper, but execution is another story. How we put that in practice, that's another story. So I think that this is very, very nice. So thank you very much, Marco. And if we don't have any other questions, thank you very much to the audience that joined us, and we will be sharing this video soon. Okay?
I agree, Rodolfo, and thank you. Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Ciao.